Hold on to your seats, because what just went down backstage at WWE is straight up chaos. LA Knight, the cocky, arrogant, no-nonsense superstar, just dropped a bomb that nobody saw coming. He wants Jimmy Uso as his partner. Yes, you heard that right. Jimmy Uso, the last remnant of the Bloodline's legacy, is suddenly being courted to team up with LA Knight to take on Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. And the WWE Universe? They are losing their minds. This isn't just a tag team suggestion. This is a lightning bolt thrown straight into the heart of Raw. Jimmy Uso has been walking a thin line between loyalty and independence ever since the Bloodline started cracking. His brother's departures, Roman's injuries, Solo Sikoa's growing ambitions, it's all been building to this moment. And now, LA Knight, with his big mouth, his Hollywood confidence, is officially trying to pull Jimmy away from the family, away from his legacy, and into his own war. Fans are furious. Social media is ablaze. Wrestling forums are exploding. Jimmy would never betray the Bloodline, some cry. This is genius, others say. LA Knight finally has the brains to shake WWE up. But make no mistake, this isn't about fans. This is about war, and every move, every handshake, every word could mean victory or complete annihilation. The locker room was on fire the second this news got out. Reports say Cody Rhodes nearly walked out of the arena in disbelief. Seth Rollins was pacing backstage like a man possessed. Gunther, massive, calculated, and dangerous, was quietly shaking his head. Everyone knows the stakes. Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed are forces of nature, two men whose power has been building relentlessly. And now, LA Knight wants to pair up with someone who has one foot in the past and one in the future of WWE to try to stop them. But here's the real kicker: Jimmy Uso isn't just a tag partner. He's a walking statement. Every time he steps into the ring, every time he hits a move, he carries the weight of the Anoa'i family, the history of the Bloodline, and the eyes of millions of fans. To align with LA Knight even temporarily is to shake the foundations of WWE itself. Imagine the scene: backstage, cameras catching Jimmy staring down LA Knight, tension thick enough to cut with a spear. LA Knight is grinning like he just signed $1 million contract, tossing insults and promises, trying to convince Jimmy that this isn't betrayal, it's strategy. That this partnership could be the key to ending Bron and Bronson once and for all. But Jimmy? He's silent. Stone-faced. Thinking about loyalty, family, and the Bloodline's legacy. Every fan watching knows exactly what Jimmy is weighing: personal ambition versus family honor. And let's not forget LA Knight's own reputation. He's not known for subtlety. He's not known for patience. He's the kind of superstar who thrives on drama, thrives on stirring the pot, thrives on turning a simple tag match into the kind of spectacle that defines eras. The WWE Universe knows he's smart but ruthless. And now, he's targeting Jimmy Uso like a predator stalking its prey. The story doesn't stop there. Backstage whispers claim that Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed are already aware of LA Knight's proposal. Their reaction? Pure rage. These two have been unstoppable, dominating every tag match and singles bout thrown their way. And now, the idea of facing Jimmy Uso alongside LA Knight is an insult, a direct challenge to their dominance. You can almost hear Bronson roaring in frustration, and Breakker, fists clenching, ready to rip through anyone who dares stand in his way. And the tension isn't just in the locker room, it's in the fanbase. Social media is divided. Some are calling this the most strategic move of LA Knight's career. He's brilliant, one fan tweeted. Jimmy Uso finally breaks away, another countered. No way he betrays his family. The argument rages on, creating a storm of speculation that has WWE's creative team smirking behind the scenes because they know exactly what they've unleashed. And make no mistake, WWE thrives on these kinds of moments. This isn't just a match setup, this is a storyline that will define Raw for weeks. Imagine the promos, the stare-downs, the tension in the arena as Jimmy and LA Knight test the limits of trust and loyalty. Imagine Bron and Bronson cutting promos filled with anger and dominance, warning the world that no one can stop them. The emotional weight is insane. Jimmy Uso is caught in a war between the Bloodline he loves and the opportunity to step into a partnership that could elevate his career to the next level. LA Knight is aggressive, relentless, and cunning, already plotting every move, every angle, every psychological tactic to ensure that this alliance succeeds. And Bron and Bronson? Two unstoppable forces of nature ready to crush anyone who thinks they can stand in their way. Backstage cameras captured the first encounter between Jimmy and LA Knight. Jimmy's stare was icy, unmoving, unreadable. LA Knight's smirk was sharp, confident, like a shark circling its prey. And the tension? Palpable. You could feel it in every frame, every whispered word, every heavy exhale. WWE fans are on the edge of their seats. Will Jimmy step up? Will he say yes? Or will he walk away, letting pride, family, and history dictate the path forward? And it doesn't stop there. Reports say Paul Heyman has been quietly observing the situation. He knows what Jimmy's decision could mean for Raw, for tag team dynamics, and for the entire power hierarchy of WWE. One wrong move, one miscalculated alliance, and chaos erupts. Biggest feud of the year. Chaos. Heyman isn't just watching, he's strategizing, already predicting how the next weeks could unfold depending on Jimmy's choice. And that's what makes this so electric. Every fan watching knows the next Raw episode isn't just another night of wrestling, it's a ticking time bomb. Because when LA Knight finally makes his pitch public, when Bron and Bronson react, when Jimmy makes his decision, everything changes. Alliances will form, rivalries will explode, and the WWE Universe will be left gasping for air. Make no mistake, this isn't just a partnership offer. This is a challenge, a statement, a war cry. LA Knight isn't just asking Jimmy to join him, he's daring him, testing him, pushing him to make a choice that could either make or break his legacy. And the fans? They are watching, they are screaming, they are arguing, and they are already predicting the chaos that's about to consume WWE Raw like a wildfire. The stage is set, the tension is at its peak, and the question hanging over everyone's head is simple: will Jimmy Uso join LA Knight? Or will the Bloodline's legacy keep him loyal, even against the most tempting offer WWE has seen in years? Because one thing is certain, whoever wins this battle inside or outside the ring, the WWE Universe will never forget it. The moment Jimmy Uso left the locker room after LA Knight's proposition, the atmosphere backstage shifted. It wasn't just curiosity, it was pure tension, like standing at the edge of a cliff with a hurricane blowing. Every superstar felt it. Everyone knew something monumental was about to happen. Solo Sikoa, ever loyal to the Bloodline, was pacing like a caged animal. He couldn't believe the audacity of LA Knight trying to snatch Jimmy away, trying to fracture what's left of their legacy. "You don't touch my family," Solo reportedly muttered under his breath, eyes blazing. But even his loyalty was being tested. Because if Jimmy said yes, what's Solo's position in this war? Where does he stand in the chaos about to erupt? And then came the whispers from Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. These two men aren't just wrestlers, they're forces of nature, monsters in the ring with unstoppable momentum. Hearing that Jimmy Uso might side with LA Knight lit a fire under them that no promo or warning could put out. Bronson, the powerhouse, reportedly slammed his locker room table in frustration. Breakker, younger but just as lethal, clenched his fists so hard veins popped across his forearms. Both men knew that a Jimmy plus LA Knight team could be dangerous, very dangerous. But they also knew that the betrayal, if it came, would make victory even sweeter. Backstage cameras caught a tense moment. LA Knight, ever the showman, approached Jimmy with his trademark smirk. "Think about it," he whispered. "You and me. We take out the bronze. We make history. You want legacy? This is your shot." Jimmy's response? Silence. Cold, calculating silence. And that silence spoke volumes. He wasn't rejecting outright, but he wasn't accepting either. Every fan watching could feel the electricity in that pause. The locker room was buzzing with speculation. Social media exploded. Fans debated endlessly. Jimmy's family will never allow it. LA Knight's got Jimmy thinking bigger than the Bloodline. This is the storyline of the year. Every fan, every post, every forum comment was just fuel to the fire WWE had lit. And somewhere behind the scenes, Paul Heyman was watching. His eyes narrowed, lips pressed together, fingers steepled. He knows the magnitude of this decision. One wrong move could fracture alliances, ignite wars, and reshape Monday Night Raw forever. Heyman doesn't just watch chaos, he manipulates it. And now, he's calculating every possible outcome, silently smiling because he knows the stakes have never been higher. The next week on Raw, the arena erupted before the match even began. Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed entered, radiating dominance, anger practically dripping off them. Fans could feel the tension in the air, anticipation so thick it was nearly suffocating. And then came LA Knight, strutting to the ring like he owned the place. He didn't just announce a tag team proposal, he threw down a challenge, daring Jimmy to step forward. Jimmy walked down the ramp, every fan holding their breath. Would he side with LA Knight, betraying the remnants of the Bloodline? Or would loyalty, honor, and family win the day? The tension was unbearable. Every eye in the arena followed his every move. Every camera zoomed on his face, every pause calculated to perfection. And then, he stepped into the ring. LA Knight smirked, expecting agreement. Jimmy stood, stone-faced. Then he shook his head, slowly, deliberately. The crowd gasped. LA Knight's expression faltered for the first time. Jimmy wasn't rejecting outright, but he wasn't giving LA Knight the victory he wanted either. This was a tease, a psychological masterstroke that left everyone on edge. Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, seeing Jimmy hesitate, pounced verbally, cutting promos that dripped with rage. "You think you can tip the scales?" Breakker shouted. "You're all just pawns in a game you don't understand." Bronson added, "Step in our path, and you'll regret it every second, every move, every choice." The crowd erupted. Every fan was on the edge of their seat, every Twitter timeline ignited with speculation. And that's when the chaos truly began. Backstage, alliances shifted in real time. Solo Sikoa's loyalty wavered for the first time. Zilla Fatu saw an opening to prove himself. Even Roman Reigns' presence loomed over everyone, shadowing the locker room with silent intimidation. Every wrestler, every manager, every staff member felt that the WWE landscape was about to be rewritten. The match itself? Explosive. LA Knight and Jimmy Uso vs. Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. The chemistry between Knight and Jimmy was tense, unpredictable. Every tag was calculated, every strike deliberate. Bron and Bronson dominated, smashing through a fence with brute force. But Jimmy held his own, balancing the legacy of the bloodline with the strategic mind of a rising star. LA Knight, meanwhile, pushed every psychological button, trying to manipulate both the fans and his partner. The verbal exchanges, the eye contact, the subtle taunts, it was chess at 200 miles per hour, a masterclass in in-ring storytelling. And then came the final moments, the climax that had fans screaming. Bronson went for a massive power move. Jimmy barely avoided it, countering just enough to tip the momentum. LA Knight seized the opportunity, but Jimmy, with a split-second decision, chose to protect his family's honor rather than chase glory. He struck the perfect balance, neutral, loyal, but calculating. Bron and Bronson were momentarily stunned. The crowd went wild. Backstage reactions were insane. Cameras caught Solo clenching his fists, Zilla nodding in approval, and Heyman smirking, pleased with the psychological layers unfolding. Every fan watching knew this was a turning point. Storylines were colliding, loyalties being tested, and the WWE Universe was officially hooked. This isn't just a tag team match. This is the beginning of a new era. LA Knight has proven he's a mastermind provocateur, Jimmy Uso has shown he's more than just a member of the bloodline, and Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed have confirmed that no one, no alliance, no strategy, can intimidate them. And the best part? We don't know what happens next. Will Jimmy eventually join Knight fully? Will Bron and Bronson retaliate with even greater force? Will Solo or Zilla shift the power balance? Fans are desperate, obsessed, and already theorizing every twist, turn, and betrayal before it even happens. WWE RAW has never been this unpredictable. And the next weeks promise even more drama, more tension, and more heartbreak. Every alliance, every feud, every decision carries weight that could shake Monday Night Raw to its core. Because when LA Knight and Jimmy Uso collide with Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, it's not just a match. It's a battle for legacy, loyalty, and survival, and nobody in WWE or the WWE Universe will ever see it coming.